live now? I can't zoom this. There's a cat right here sitting very patiently waiting to be fed. So, yeah, I'm 10 minutes late. Well, I thought I was supposed to be streaming in OBS, so I don't know. Let's see what else I need to look at. Lewis said he might be able to join for a bit. I don't expect any of my Twitter followers to. Don't knock stuff over. You keep right in front of my books. How am I supposed to advertise? I have a cat staring at me around the monitor. Okay, so now I've been live for a minute and a half, 2 minutes almost, but Butterbob demands attention. Yes, he does. Okay, so now it's working. And yes, he's going to sleep. Just a sleepy eyes. So this is my live stream. I can't really zoom in the YouTube stream, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's better next time. Maybe if I move the camera closer to him, get rid of some of that background stuff, try to knock the books over. Okay. So you're just trying, aren't you? Bob, stop trying to knock the books over. It's bad enough you completely blocked the view of them. Yes, I'm very distracted by a cat. Cat's taking over the live stream. Fortunately, how far it could fall? It could fall. We won't knock over the other one. Okay, so Bob, stop it. Do you realize that you've been introduced to the world already? Yes, my YouTube channel has seen you in the countryside video. Lewis wanted me to talk about the AI stuff that I've been doing. And Bob, waiting until I get into mid-sentence, aren't you? Come here. He's not a laptop, so it's going to very upset. Okay, so Lewis said that I should talk about the AI stuff that I've been doing. And it's an interesting thing to talk about because I haven't really mentioned it specifically in any of the videos that I've been doing, but one of the things that I'm trying to show off in the videos that I'm making is how lifeless the presentation of an AI avatar is. I kind of hinted at it at the end of my last video where I said I make fun of it because it's unaware, kind of like it's not in on the joke. And that makes it kind of like a humiliation humor situation because I'm making the AI avatar the butt of the joke that I'm telling. And it doesn't know that it's the butt of the joke. But fortunately, since it's not a person who exists, then there's no real harm or foul in that. It's just insulting to the AI avatar, who doesn't exist. So it's the same thing as the AI having no qualms about stealing copyright because it doesn't exist. It's not violating any copyright laws because it doesn't exist as a person. But yeah, that's the thing that I'm showing off in a lot of my videos is how lifeless and sometimes, most often, inept in its timing and its presentation and delivery. It just simply knows how to parrot the language and the speaking and the motion of the mouth. I've been watching a lot of the videos that I make, and I see how the mouth moves, and it doesn't seem to present the shaping of the mouth for the words the same way that real people do. I don't know. I know that Hayden has been working on trying to get their avatars to be more accurate in their motion, but the one thing I've noticed very consistently, especially with things like the old Henry guy, his mouth just opens and closes. He doesn't do any pinching of his cheeks and any pursing of his lips when he talks. It just open and close, open and close, open and close, and that's it. A lot of the avatars, they're starting to get a little bit better in terms of pursing of the lips to form certain kinds of sounds the way people do, but they're still not quite there yet. And that's one thing that I'm showing off, but also the timing of the body movements. I think in my my life behind the paywall video, I showed off the fact that one of the avatars actually nods up and down when he's listening at a very inopportune time. Yes, he's clawing at the couch. At a very inopportune time that coincidentally happened to coincide with a good joke in the video. But that wasn't the avatar's intent. He was supposed to be just nodding along just to say, yes, I'm listening. It was the second scene where he's facing to the back with his back to the camera, and she's standing next to him talking to him. And she asks, did I do something to offend you? Or did I insult you? And he nods yes. That wasn't him responding to her question. That was just his general nodding along to pretend that he's listening. But when I did the video, it looks like he's nodding yes to answer her question. Yes, you did. You know, it's just one of those coincidental bad timing things. My last video, the how to make a video at Hayden's website with a free account, I think Hayden would probably not like that because that's my way of showing anyone who wants to sign up for a Hayden's account, you can have this account for as long as you want. As long as you're able to make 1-minute videos, or if you have editing software and can compile a series of these 1-minute videos, be able to make only 1 minute per day, and figure out how to edit your scenes so that they take exactly a minute, as I did with my how to make a video with Agent video. I did the first scene was less than a minute. The second scene extended beyond a minute, so I just cut it off and put the rest of it in the next video that I did. And you can tell the music goes silent and then starts up again. As far as the content of the video, it didn't really show off any dramatic pause or anything. I think it did happen to coincide with a sentence break, so it did provide a dramatic pause, but not for anything related to the content. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing with that, is showing off how unaware of their presentation that they are. As much as a bad presenter as I am, I'm at least aware of when to inflect and deliver. That reminds me, I have not done the Pixel Dungeon Market video yet. I printed up the script and I've been reading over it, but I need to go ahead and do that video so that you'll have a version of that real performance to compare to the AI performance that I did. And I noticed that Colossian's avatars are a lot more lifeless than the Hagen avatars. That's why at the end of my account with Colossian in June, I'm going to switch over and buy an account at Hagen so I can do more larger videos at Hagen. But yeah, Colossian's avatars are just lifeless. And that the guy in the blue suit who did the Life Behind a Paywall video, he sounded like he was sound asleep, literally just lifeless, deadpan, bored as hell delivery. It's like, I can't imagine how anybody in a corporate account would say, I want to make a video to excite my customers and show off sales techniques and get people excited about my product. And which avatar is going to excite people because they all seem like they're bored as hell. I mean the guy that I did from Hagen, I picked him because I wanted to do somebody different for the how to make a video. I picked somebody totally different that I'd never used before, and I picked him because he was kind of scrawny looking. His delivery was fairly normal, but I noticed that his avatar was very badly lit. I thought, I can't believe the guy actually didn't have Hagen come back and say, hey man, get some lights in front of your face to do the avatar video. So I made some commentary at the beginning of the video to talk about how poorly lit he is. But I also noticed that he did a lot of shaking his head, which was weird. But fortunately, I had some commentary in the video that he kind of shaked his head at the right time. And I think that's one of the things that makes making AI videos sometimes fun, is that sometimes you can luck into a damn good performance in just a portion of a video. The rest of it just happens to not match up. Like for example, the Schooling Corporate Fascism video, the girl with the glasses talking, her performance was just all over the place. Had literally nothing to do with the words that she was speaking. And it just made it totally, I don't want to say hapless or uneventful, but it was like just kind of, what is she talking about? The lady in the black dress, I think she's a good avatar. She was really good in her delivery. I like the part where she's at the end of the video where she said, fine, you do that, because she delivered it exactly as somebody would say it when they're just being dismissive. Fine, you do that. Go away. Shoot. You know, she delivered it exactly like that. So, again, it was one of those, you just happen to have the moment work out right. Now, I don't know if I were to compile that video repeatedly, would it compile exactly the same every time? I may have to try that sometime, make a video and export it twice in a row to see, does it export exactly the same the second time? I'll have to make sure it's something really short, because I know not many people are going to sit down and watch this boring thing twice in a row just to say, oh, did it turn out exactly the same? I wasn't paying that much attention the first time. I really wasn't paying attention the second time. So, no, that's not likely to be. Hi, Bright. I know it's not likely to be something that people are going to really engage with, but yes, you see Bob sitting back there? Yeah, see, he's watching me. Tasha. It's Tasha. My wife's best friend. And she does see Bob. He's Butter Bob, isn't he? I didn't realize that my books are backwards. I'm pointing at the screen. I'm looking at the screen. I don't know if it's backwards for you. It wouldn't help if I put them like this, because then the front of the book facing away from me. But yeah, everything is reversed. Waving high. Oh, they're not backwards for you? Okay, they're only backwards for me. Good, thank you. This is a learning curve for me. I don't know. I'm even forgetting most of the time to look at the camera because he's trying to steal the show. Yes, he is. But to go back to talk about the AI stuff. I don't really want to talk about the content of the videos because, I have a very strange and bizarre imagination, and I do weird, very weird things sometimes. Some people would say almost all the time, but as far as the presentation itself, the reason that I'm doing so much in the AI stuff is one, to get more familiar with doing it, because there's going to come a time where it's going to be necessary for everyone who does presentation of some sort to engage with avatar-driven videos in some way or another. In fact, one of the things I'm planning on, that's a little gargoyle, yeah, there's my gargoyle back there. One of the things that I was planning on doing was making an interview video where I actually interview an AI avatar. And I was going to come up with the questions and ask them in Microsoft Bing and Edge, because it has Chat GPT in chat mode, and just ask the questions to the AI there. Cockatoo man, hello. Ask the avatar these questions, and then make an avatar-driven video with the avatar speaking the answers the AI gave, and have me in the background sitting there asking the questions to the avatar. So it's going to be with the avatar facing deadpan to the camera and just delivering the dialogue deadpan, and me in the background sitting there trying to talk to the side, because that's where the avatar is going to be. And then I'm just going to take my video, dump it in the background of the avatar-driven video, and have the avatar in the foreground. So it'll look like we're sharing the scene. That will also give an interesting way of showing how a human person speaks differently and emotes differently than a oh yeah, I'm gonna probably make this public as a video. Yes. By the way, what time is it for y'all? For me, I started about 10 minutes late because I thought I was supposed to start at 5. And for some reason, in OBS, it didn't start. So I spent 10 minutes wondering what was going on. And then finally just said, 13:27? Well, yeah. So that's 3:27. So you're 2 hours ahead of me. Or behind me, actually. 3:31. Rounded up from 3:28. Well, that's nice to be approximate. But yeah, so other videos that I've been talking about doing that I haven't done yet. From as far back as last year, I think there was one I remember. I didn't want to mention it yet because I know my friend Carlos was really excited about it. I was going to do my unusual relationship with peanut butter. But I shot a video of it at my dad's house, and so I still have the formative, what do you want to call it, the background or the B-roll that I had for it. But I haven't done the foreground of it yet. So what else was I going to do? There was another thing. Peanut butter. There was another thing I was planning on doing that I haven't done. Oh yeah, I was going to make the first time making 9-cheese pizza, which turned out not very good. I think we used too much of the hard cheeses, and also we kind of didn't cook pizza hard enough. But I shot some video of that while we were making it, and I was going to compile that and just say there's the first time we ever made 9-cheese pizza, and it was edible. But it didn't turn out to be as thick as I remember. The first time I made pizza, I wish I had taken pictures of it. I kid you not, that pizza turned out to be this thick. We literally had to eat it with forks and knives because the crust would not even hold it. I keep freezing. It may be because my bandwidth is not very strong right now. It could be your internet. It could be my internet too. I know we don't have very good cell service here, but the internet's supposed to be pretty stellar. Yeah, so 9-piece pizza video. I'm good to Tasha. I wasn't really worried about doing this because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to interact with the chat. I've never seen someone doing a live stream and being able to I've seen when people do that, they sit there and they look at their computer every once in a while just to see. But I've never really figured out how I would do it myself. And I figured, well, I guess the best thing would be to just put the screen in front of me, but not block the camera with it. And then I can just look at it. I need a coffee. You shouldn't be eating during the live stream. Sorry, my throat's dry. So I'm glad to let this clatter on my teeth while I talk. So yeah, so Honeycrisp apples are the best. I just bought a couple of them from the store the other day, and 2 of them are already gone. Those are the best tasting apples on the market. I just, bar none, those are the best apples. And I can't believe when I was a kid, I used to love the big old golden delicious, the red delicious apple, because they got so huge. But they were really tasty. I remember they had a heavy flavor, but they were really tasty and kind of dry on the inside. Honeycrisp apples are nice and juicy. It's kind of like eating a peach, except not as much. But yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do for my next AI video. Ooh, Black Betty cheese. Dude, we haven't had Black Betty cheese in ages. Since some time ago. It's been almost 2 years now since we've had Black Betty. Black Betty's a very good salty cheese. It's so salty it has actually crystals in it. It's wonderful. It's only released once a year, so we have to remember what time of year it is when it gets released. Well, we're going to have to make sure and get some for Tasha too then, because she likes that too. When I come up with the AI videos, I don't really plan them that far in advance. That's what's weird about it. Usually I just happen to come up with an idea and just go into the AI website and just do it in the spur of the moment in about an hour. I think the only exception was the Pixel Dungeon Market video, because I've been planning that video for a couple of years before I finally did it. And it had to be on sale at our local spots, and it changes year to year, so sometimes we got to go to Austin. Yep, road trip time. Yes, the cheese is worth the drive. It really is. But yeah, even the fear mongering video, I literally did that in about an hour. I spent about an extra hour after I came up with it, going back and tweaking it and rewriting some of the scripts. But literally, I came up with that whole video in about an hour. So yeah, so that's not like my regular live videos where, you know, I sometimes will write scripts for them, but just an outline, because I like to speak and not recite. And I think that's a really big difference is in performance. I don't know how I sound when I'm reciting something. I'm probably going to do this for the Pixel Dungeon Market video, because I'm going to have to recite the script exactly like the original video, so that it'll be a good comparison. So that's going to be the first time I'm ever really reciting something on YouTube. Oh no, I did my poem. I recited my poem on YouTube. But I actually read that. I sat down with the book and actually just read directly from the book. And I guess that wouldn't be all that much worse. I mean, I'll admit, my presentation skills are not very good. I don't know how the acoustics are here. How's my sound? Can't ask my wife. She's in the same room, so she hears me instead of the video, unless she has her headphones on. But she always says I mumble. I have a nasty tendency to mumble. That's one of the reasons I started doing YouTube, and was to help defeat my habit of mumbling. But so talk a little bit more about my AI videos. I haven't said everything that you don't want to hear. I think a big thing that I've probably made very clear in my videos, but not try harder. Try harder to say things you don't want to hear. I think the thing that I've made clear that I do in my videos that I haven't explicitly stated is to show off how they are being geared towards a narrow audience and how inappropriate that is for everyone outside of that audience. It's especially true for Colossian because their delivery is so dry. And I think it would do some good to have an outside perspective because all they want is corporate customers. Hagen, sort of the same, not only corporate, but at least startups, venture entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. They tend to more favor that kind of customer. Colossian, I think, is probably trying to go for just plain corporate. But I think the thing that I'm trying to show off is how much the delivery is going to bore their corporate customers as much as it is anyone else. For Hagen, I think their avatar performances are a little bit better. Well, it was good of you to stop by. I appreciate it, the visit. The chart of the unicorn analysis video. I remember that one. That one still gets views. That's one of my top 4 performers. Yeah, that video still gets views. I tended to ramble on that one too. I had a nasty habit of it. But go on, run your errand. But thank you for stopping by. It was I will try. I hope to live stream more in the future when I have more to say. I kind of went into this afternoon knowing I was going to be able to live stream as of last night. And I thought, oh, well, can I live stream sometime this weekend? And my wife said, no, we have something we have to do Saturday, so can't stream Saturday. I didn't think about maybe streaming on Sunday, but I thought, well, if I can't go do Saturday, well, how about today? So I had to work until 3:30. I thought, okay, let me schedule it on YouTube real quick at 3:30. Schedule it for 5 o'clock and just say, okay, there. Okay, now, what am I going to say? I've got maybe an hour and a half to figure out what to do. Of course, unfortunately, I had to spend that hour and a half trying to figure out how to get the hardware to work. So I didn't have really any time to think about what I was going to do or say. So I don't know. So yeah, as far as doing more live streams in the future, I guess yes, when I get a bigger audience, when I can schedule them more in advance so that people will know about them more. But yeah, the other thing I thought was going to be interesting was normally in very popular live streams, the chat goes by so fast you can't actually read the comments. So in a way, I'm kind of grateful to have a smaller audience. But hang on. There, now no more chattering on my teeth. I don't know. This is the part where it says, no, dive and crash. So, yeah, Charlie the Unicorn analysis video. Man, that's been a while. Because, yes, we can talk about him a little bit now after he's gone, because he'll watch the live stream later to see what else I said after he left. But other videos I was planning on making. I don't have a list or anything, but I can consult. So I'm trying to think about my memory. The peanut butter relationship, 9 cheese pizza. Oh, I know I'm supposed to eventually make a video showing off how to make my spaghetti sauce, but I need more practice with the gas burning stove. This is my first time working with a gas burning stove. I've always had electric and actually those glass top stoves. So it's my first time working with gas, so I have to get more accustomed to working with gas. But yeah, I need to make a video about how to make my spaghetti sauce. But that can be there for future generations. Because, you know, as everybody says, it's basically just Texas chili with Italian seasoning in it. Basically what it is. What else was I going to do? I can't think of anything I have an inkling to do in AI videos, or at least not that I'm thinking of now. I'm sure once I sit down and pull up the AGEN website or call out CN, all of a sudden something will occur to me and I'll just do it. I need to spend some time offline putting together the redacted version of the production report story, because as you see, I've got all the people's names and stuff still in the text. The dollar amounts I'm supposed to black out. So I've got to black those out. But I need to finish the fixing up the publication of the unredacted version, which will probably only have like 2 copies made. This is the first of those. But I've got to go through the entire text, blacking out everything corporate in every single page before I can publish it. I think the text portion of it is in pretty good shape. I just didn't do a little bit of formatting fixes, but outside of that, it's pretty straightforward and clean. The only thing that's going to be bad about it is a hardback, a full letter size publication. So it's going to be expensive, and not many people are going to buy it. I need to be careful not to lose that. That's the W for my keyboard. The glue came off of it for, well, you know, when you're gaming and, you know, you press W to walk a lot, you tend to mess up the gum and the key sticker. So yeah, I need to reglue that on. Not that I can't tell where the W key is, because now it's the only one without a sticker. Maybe I should have eaten some marshmallows or something before I screamed. No, I think that would have made my throat worse. What else was I going to do? I've already done the video about the Rush Clockwork Angels extended playlist. That was interesting. Actually, I got some vitriol about that. A couple of people, you know, came on and got all pissed off at me for daring to mess with the master. What else was I planning on doing? There's like 2 or 3 videos that I was talking about doing last year that I still haven't done yet. We wrote peanut butter, the live version of Pixel Dungeon Market video. I'm still struggling on my other channel, my gaming channel. I'm still struggling to get through level 6 of Wandroid number 4. But I'm also playing Wizardry now, actual original Wizardry. And I've gotten quite a few comments on that too. But oh, I still need to do my functional fireplace video in Valheim, and a couple other hacks that my wife and I have discovered that a couple of gamer videos have shown off, but it doesn't seem to be all that widespread yet. So I thought I'd go ahead and show them off, just to have said that. Again, it's just me trying to get more in the habit of being able to speak and remembering to speak more often during gameplay. It's even harder to remember to talk while you're playing a game. I showed that off when I was showing off Remix Dungeon. I literally went through an entire segment of the video where I just forgot to talk entirely, and I think I ended up editing out that part. But yeah, I just went through an entire level in the dungeon and forgot to talk entirely throughout the entire thing. I definitely cannot stream. It's really not easy. You've got to download the OBS software so you can have streaming software. You need to get a camera, a webcam type camera. Right now I'm borrowing the one from my daughter. But you've got to also figure out how to configure your OBS software to communicate with YouTube and get it set up right, which basically I just had my daughter just do it for me, just get it working so I can do this. Later, when I do this again, I'll have her show me how to do it, to make me do it. That tactile experience that you learn by doing instead of by watching someone else do. So, after this time, I'm still not going to know how to do it because I'm not the person who did it. But yeah, get a, can I talk while I play? Yeah. I mean, you can live stream. There's people who do live streams of their gaming videos. I've seen a couple of people doing Valheim videos where they literally just show what they're doing and then pipe in music instead of them talking or the game sounds. In your video editor, you can just, detach the audio from the game and just put it in an MP3 file. And then when you go to upload it to YouTube, just say, I don't know the copyright to the music, sorry. And the copyright owner will just claim the monetization on the video and poof, done. Some companies will say, no, you just can't have our music on YouTube at all. Only we get to rely. Some companies will do that. But other companies will just say, no, as long as you let us have the monetization of the video, poof, you're fine. As long as you don't claim to have the copyright of the music, everything's fine. So, some companies will know. They are very, no, if we own it, you don't get to do it. So, some of them are like that. You never know. Sometimes you just have to find out the hard way. I would say mostly if you can show what you're doing effectively in the game, you don't have to worry about the need to talk. For you, Tasha, I think you're going to have some difficulty because the music that you would play in your videos is owned by a company who is very, very oppressive. Although I did find out that the reason I couldn't upload that one video that I made was because it was on a pay-per-stream video, or pay-per-view video that had not been released to the market yet. So they said, no, that's not available to the public. You're not allowed to use that. I think that they do allow for use of their publicly released material. And I'm just guessing. I'm not saying anything definitive. I'm just guessing that yes, you probably would be able to pipe in something from one of their albums that's widely popular instead of the game sounds. But yeah, if you can show off what you're doing in the game without having to talk about it, then you can stream. Um, or if you want to make a gaming video about what you're doing in the game to show off how to do it or how you do it, you don't have to talk as long as the video shows what you're doing. One thing that my wife and I are trying to do in Valheim right now is make a sundial. And I learned how to do it by watching a video of a guy who is a very high level guy. He's already got iron and everything. So I'm like, how are we supposed to think in terms of if you're just in the meadows and you want to do this, but we haven't even killed the elder yet. How are we supposed to do this with all these metal railings and stuff? I just want to learn how to do it with wood. Just with wood you can get in the meadows. So we're probably going to make a video later showing how to do a sundial in the meadows with only meadows materials. But I watched his video and I could tell what he was doing. So it was obvious to me that he didn't have to talk. So yeah, feel free to show off the stuff you're doing. You don't have to talk, just pipe in some music. And as long as it's not a live performance, it's not publicly released yet, because that's the thing that I got in trouble with. We really are. We keep coming back to it. We are having fun with Valheim, and we had stopped playing it for about maybe 6 months or a year because we had gotten through and killed the elder in Black Forest, and were terrified at the thought of trying to figure out how to hunt down bone mass and kill bone mass. Oh, I forgot. YouTube. Oh, I have to say unalive. We have to unalive bone mass. It's a video game character. Why is it so hard to talk about in a game? Hunt down bone mass. Not about to say that even really, to be honest, because if I could dox bone mass, then anyone could go and hunt down bone mass, and that would be criminal, wouldn't it? I mean, unfortunately, we're talking about bone mass here. But yeah, so we were thinking about hunting down bone mass, and we just stopped playing, well, just entirely, because we thought we just can't go any further. But just in the past couple of weeks, we just started getting back into it and said, okay, we found a place where we can find bone mass, and we've got a path to go to get to bone mass. We haven't done it yet because we're not ready yet, but we started building again and started getting some materials piled up because we're suddenly using up the materials again. So, we're getting back into it. And who knows? We may go and take care of bone mass in about a week or so. I don't know. No, I can see her shaking her head. No, we're not going to be ready in a week. I need to work on my my fighting skills. I'm decently effective with blocking, but not enough, and I die way too often. Even against trolls, even after I've gotten the chainmail. Haven't got the full chainmail, but I got the chainmail cloak and the shield, so I at least have that. I died at Greylings. Yeah, I do. And Grey Dwarfs, and Grey Dwarf brutes especially. I've gotten better about shamans though. I can handle shamans every now and then. But yeah, I still die of brutes all the damn time. But yeah, brutes, just simple brutes. But yeah, so the thing I was going to show off in Valheim was my fireplace, my functional fireplace, because they don't have to be pretty. Because really, with the way that the Valheim architecture is built, it's really hard to make something actually real pretty. Um, I think with scaling, if you were to do something really massive and huge, you could probably make it pretty. But when it comes to doing something of functional size, it's really kind of hard to make things pretty. So I came up with a fireplace that's functional, fairly simple to build. So a lot of people are talking about putting these shield covers on the top to keep the rain out. And it's like, it just makes it kind of ugly and awkward looking. I mean, mine's still awkward looking, but I don't have to try that hard to make it awkward looking. We haven't gotten to the really pretty stuff yet. Now, apparently when we get into stone, we'll be getting a little bit better. But apparently the stuff that's supposed to be really pretty stuff is in Mistlands, I think. Or is that Iron? Mountains. When we get in the mountains, that's when we get to the actual pretty stuff. Right now, just with the wood, there's not a whole lot you can do that's really genuinely pretty. So yeah, so I have a video I can do for Valheim, and oh, my next wizardry video I was going to show off is dealing with the third floor. I did an introductory video for it, and I did 2 introductory videos to it. I showed off how to find Murphy's Ghost, but now I need to do a video for how to deal with the third floor. Because there are pits on the third floor. I don't know if you've heard much about the wizardry game. It is I used to want to say a dressing up, a modern dressing up of the original game. They literally took the original code of the original game from 1981, the one that I played when I was a kid, the first dungeon crawl game ever made. On level 1 was the first ever recurring boss monster. Murphy's Ghost is very famous as the boss monster from Wizardry. But they built this game on the original code and expanded it with graphics, modern animation, and they even had a little inset of the original gameplay on the bottom right of the screen where you can actually watch the way it was played back in 1981. And or you can turn that off and just play with the modern graphics. They haven't finished yet. It's still early access. Pardon me, I'm fighting off a sneeze. But I wanted to show off the dealing with the third floor, because when you get to the third floor, you're just barely able to survive the monsters there. Thank you. I haven't sneezed yet. Hold it, wait for it. It's right at the edge of the sneeze. I'm sure I'll sneeze in mid-sentence somewhere. But I need to show off the third floor, because that's the next thing that is a struggle. Look at this sun. Sorry, all the blinds are closed. There's lots of pits on the third floor, and it can be quite a struggle. The whole third floor is basically this identical repeating pattern, so it can be very easy to get lost. But they do have a new feature in the game that was not available in the original game, and that is when you cast the clarity spell for mapping, instead of showing you your coordinates and what direction you're facing, they actually decided to go ahead and show a map of what you've explored in the dungeon. This kind of takes out the thing that the original game had of they actually included graph paper in you had to draw a map of the dungeon as you were playing the game in order to have a map of it, because the game didn't have a mapping spell. So they kind of take that away from you, but they wouldn't be able to provide for it the way Wizardry did back in 1981, because nowadays, when you buy a game, you just put your credit card number in and download it and install it and poof. No need for physical media, no need for an instruction book. I mean, there may be some games that you might need an instruction book for, but it would be literally download a PDF. There's no delivery of hard copy stuff. Back in 1991, you had the games came in this cardboard box, and the instruction book would just get. And for Wizardry, there was a pad of graph paper, so you had to actually draw your own dungeon, or your own map of the dungeon, as you explored it. But in the new version, they have a mapping spell that actually shows the map as you explore it. So I've got to cover the entire third floor, and then cast a mapping spell and capture a video of showing the whole map, and then go into my Pinnacle editor afterwards and put in text to show where the pits are. So, that's what I'm going to show off for the third floor is how to get around the pits and what's going to be where, and how to get there, secret doors that don't show up on the map, stuff like that. I still haven't sneezed yet. So that's a couple of things I'm going to do on my gaming channel. Wizardry, third floor, Valheim, functional fireplace, and Sundial. But I can't think of anything else. I mean, I've talked about the AI stuff. Of course, I don't have to talk about my books. They're right here. I forgot to show off my poetry book. It's not much, but it's pretty much all the decent poetry that I've written. So there's that too. And of course, the Captain of the Watch book that I'm still working on. Actually, I haven't been working on that much lately. I still have all the notes for it here on my phone. This wonderful novelist app where it categorizes the information, and I don't know if I can show that without having much glare. This is my notes for the prototype vending machine that I'm going to have in the story. Of course, the main character, Captain Maynard Shiptaker. He always say the P is silent. But yeah, there's different sections in here for themes, events, characters, locations, props, and extra stuff. And in extra stuff, I have a couple passages that I've already pre-written. It gets a bit difficult sometimes when you're pre-writing sections that are a future part of the book you haven't written yet, because when you get to that part, you have to hope that your writing style matches the passage you wrote months earlier or weeks earlier, depending on how long it's been. That it doesn't seem like a sudden jolt in style. And I think that's one of the things that's causing me to be nervous about it, because the first 5 or 6 chapters I wrote back in 1998, 1999, I think. I started writing it to a friend of mine on AOL. Do you remember AOL? I wrote the first chapter on AOL in an email, just spontaneously, just out of the blue, decided to write this. And sent it. And then I wrote the second chapter, I think also in an email, but after that third, fourth chapters, I wrote outside of an email and sent it to that one person in California. And then I think when I wrote the fifth chapter, was when I started having trouble with the story. There goes Bob, wandering off, and you didn't notice me. I'm walking your back on it. He's going to go in the corner and start crying. I started having trouble with the story, and I think that's when I stopped writing it. But I've gotten into it past. He's roaming. That means he's nervous. Bladder is full and he's ready to go. I started picking it up again like in 2015. That's when I started working on it. And I outlined the whole thing. And that's another thing that make it difficult for me to write. Is because I've outlined the story. In my mind, I feel like I'm supposed to be done with it. I shouldn't have to write it now. But I haven't put it to a point where I can give it to the world yet. So I have to actually write it. And I think that's why my brain is to say, no, you're done. I say, no, I'm not. So I need to put that together and actually do that. But I think that's where I'm going to end this video, this live stream. Because I'm getting to where I'm still fighting that sneeze, and I can hear my voice. I'm starting to get a little bit of drainage, messing with my voice. And it's time to feed the cats too. So I need to get off so people can roam around the living room behind me without getting caught on the live stream. You really want to hear me sneeze. You've heard about my comment that the trumpet has spoken because I have such a loud and boisterous sneeze that it shakes windows in nearby houses. Good night. And I'm sure I will do a live stream soon. Not yet, not yet. Oh, come on. Can I cancel that? Okay, I'm going to end it this time. Really, I'm going to do it. Ready? Okay, here we go. Bye.